Chrissy's Beautiful Life, and I am here to do my last episode of Obsessed with Katty and Chrissy, doing the open book series collection by Maggie Holmes. And Jackson just wants to say hi, hello, and so I just want to show you my final papers and why they look like they do from the beginning. So we were doing open book and using the papers. We kind of went through them and decided which ones we wanted to use. This is our 6th episode, so we've done 5 layouts already. And so with that, I'd also started scrapbooking just a tiny bit before Katty had even suggested this. So for example, this pattern paper, I trimmed out the little, half an inch on the sides for a border. So this is not a full 12 by 12. This beautiful one is a 12 by 12, and I do plan on using it for sure. And then this red one, I guess it's pink, but the gradient of the pink, again, I use it as a border. This one I just cut today because I have a piece of pattern paper from the open book collection that's floral I want to use with this because I think it goes really well together. And I don't know if I want to use this chunk or this chunk, but I've at least given myself the option. So once this layout's done, I can still take advantage of that. And then the same with this awesome paper. I saw so many people using it as using half of it and then making a layout, and I really want to do that. So I'm going to save this part for another layout and take advantage of this part of the paper. I just wanted to show you that. These are the photos I'm kind of thinking about going with. Not all of them, but just pick one. I have this one in an actual 6x4, 4x6, and then the 4x4, and I have this one as well. So I'm not quite sure which one I want to do, but I'm going to pick one. And this week we are doing we're scrap lifting from each other. So Katty picked a layout that I had done, and she's going to scrap lift it, and I've picked a layout she's done. And it's a beautiful layout. It's called Abuela. And I believe it's probably her mom or her kid's grandma, one way or the other. And I will make sure to try to find that photo and post it in right now and then get you on fast forward. So thanks everyone so much for watching. Make sure to go check out Katty's layout because it'll be really exciting. And then we will be back in January with our new season, I guess we'll call it, using a whole new collection. So, all right, I'll get you on fast forward now.
So you have to first excuse my voice. I have a bit of a cold, so I sound a little off. But this is the layout of multiple tries. So my first goal here was what I loved about Katty's layout, about the Abuela layout, is the 4 corners. And so I wanted to do that. And last night, I couldn't sleep because of this silly cold that I had, and was watching a whole lot of Missy Whitten episodes on YouTube. And so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get my mixed media groove on here. Okay, let's just say this right now. I am not Missy Whitten. I do not do mixed media very well. So I tried, and I tried a bunch of different colors, and in any other aspect, like if I hadn't had those 4 corners, or if I was doing a different type of layout, I think that this watercolor effect would have been just fine because I like the colors that I used and everything. It's just for this layout and what I was trying to achieve, it did not work even a tiny, tiny bit. But I tried. And I'm gonna keep trying. So for a minute, right now I'm like, oh, okay, I don't mind it. I probably use a little too much of the blue, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep going, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to start doing my layers for my photo using all the pattern papers that we had decided to use. And as I'm doing that, I keep looking at my background and I'm like, I just don't, something's so off about this. I don't really understand, but something's off, doesn't look right. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, how am I going to fix this? Like, I've got to use these pattern papers and I only have so much of them, and I've already kind of torn apart that striped paper that I love so much. So I just didn't know. So I decided it's fine. Let me just work on my layering. And for my layering, I use one bit of that very pretty teal, a little bit of the creamsicle paper, and then the wood grain gradient. But I use two actual parts of the green because I wanted it to kind of bring out the fact that Jackson is playing with this little robot, and it's very bright colored. It's green and blue, and he's in a blue sweater, and I just wanted to kind of help bring out that to help mark the photo and bring your eye to the photo. And so I did that, and then I'm like, no, okay, let me grab something else. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna grab this awesome stencil, and I'm going to just use some regular acrylic paint because I don't have modeling paste, I don't have anything like that. And I'm just gonna magically make a new layout because this one is not working, and I don't like the corners and I don't like any of it, but I know I have to use them, so I do pull off a couple of the corners just so that I have them ready to go. And then through the magical powers that be, there's a new layout going on. So I did that. I decided to grab my favorite gold Sharpie pen that I have that makes everything look gold foiled-ish. And I just did a little bit of lines at the bottom and the top, the kind of the corners of what I did, and I like that. And then I also traced some of the arrows and my pattern paper as well. So the creamsicle color is the one that I traced, and I technically guess I didn't need to do that, but I don't really mind it because again, it's just a little bit of gold. It's not going to hurt anything. And then I put it back down. I'm kind of liking that. I'm like, needs a bit more gold. You have to have gold in 3 places. So I work on tracing the little arrows, and I trace 3 on each side. And again, it just kind of helps your eye flow through the layout. And this I really like. So I'm like, okay, now what should I work on next? I'm liking this. It looks really neat. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can stitch and fold over the other 2 corners so that it's kind of like the original layout that Katty made, but with my own twist. Of course, again, I don't have the skills to do this, and I massively screwed up with my sewing. So you can't even tell what I did. And there we go. Sorry, my thing stopped for a moment. And so I put the pattern papers, the other 2 straight pattern papers down there, and then I used the last piece of the pattern paper to use, and I put it there thinking, okay, that's fine. I'll just work on some embellishments and my layout will be fine. Of course, this is not what happens, and what I'm going to do is come back live with you to show you my actual finished layout because, like I said, I did this and I still wasn't happy. I was so frustrated at this point that I was like, that's it. I give up. I'm done. I just can't do it anymore. So, like I said, I do leave some of the embellishments that you see me doing. Those stay, but the rest kind of goes away. So I'll show you that in just a minute.
Okay, everyone. So this has seriously been the most frustrating layout I've ever made. I had the hardest time, and I started with this background in the back here. With that, you remember that the painting. I then moved on to this, which I liked, and I will do this again because I did like that. But then when I folded it, I did not like that. I didn't like the stitching. I messed up on the stitching. It was a hot mess, and it was just making me mad. So I literally just, I threw it away. Like I'm throwing this whole thing away. So I might maybe cut some circles. I don't know. Ugh. So a waste of paper, but that's fine. So the whole point of scraplifting this layout and why I chose it was I loved that there were 4 corners and then the photo. And so that's what I decided to do, but I was having a hard time, couldn't figure it out. So I've decided that I'm going to use Heidi Shine, and that's going to kind of represent the 4 corners. And then I am going to do some stitching, and I'm going to add my title. But I was so flustered, and I'm literally doing this on the day it's due. It's just been crazy, and So I will have some close-ups and the final image, and I'll make sure to make it a little bit longer so you can see it. I'm simply going to title this Lunch Companion, and that's going to be the end of my layout. I was able to use the pattern paper just so I can point that out to you. The grains here, that wood grain pink gradient is here. The really pretty orange creamsicle one is here and here. And then the striped paper is here, and I have a little tiny strip of that awesome arrow paper there because the rest of it is almost trashed. And I think I'll put the title right here. And then journaling wise, I don't know if I'll have much journaling, and if I do, it might be hidden. And I think maybe once my Heidi Shine dries, I'll stitch along the edges. But that's my layout. This is the last episode in this series, this season. We will be back in January, and we are going to be using Maggie Holmes Shine collection, which I'm very excited about. Also, that's going to be kind of just a 3-part series, and then we're going to jump into another one that we won't tell you yet. We'll keep it a surprise. But I'm very excited, and I love doing this with Katty. It's been so much fun. And I will be back on later today or tomorrow showing you all of my layouts and kind of go over step by step what they were, what the challenges were. So if you just wanted to see them all at once, you can do that. So stay tuned. That'll probably be up tomorrow. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for sticking with me and through this cold. I probably sound horrible, but thanks so much, and I will be back soon. Bye!